Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Thursday, November 29, 2012. This is Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I'm Savannah Trantham. In today's headlines, Tarleton's aeronautical team is working NASA's University Student Launch Initiative. Stephenville High hosts Coaches for a Cure. Texas millionaire artist is arrested for child molestation. The 31st annual Spirit of Christmas food drive continues to accept donations. Bangladesh factory fire is found to have been making clothes for major retailers. Houston Texans are losing linebackers due to injuries. In campus news, Tarleton's aeronautical program is a part of NASA's University Student Launch Initiative, a competition that challenges university-level students to design, build, and launch a rocket 1 mile above ground level. The team was picked to participate in this competition with only 35 other schools. This year's team will be participating in the competition for the first time. Students involved in the project this year are from Tarleton's physics, mathematics, computer science, engineering physics, and engineering technology departments. With us here today is Jancy Bateman, Educational Outreach Coordinator for the team, to answer a few questions about what the team is doing to prepare for the competition. Here is Shawnee Wagner with Jancy Bateman.
Hi Jancy, thank you for coming to the studio today.
Thanks for having me.
So what do y'all do in preparation for this competition?
Well, for the competition, there's several different phases we go through. The first part, we did a proposal where we talked about our plans and kind of an idea of what we're going to do. We just finished the preliminary design review, which is kind of saying a more in-depth, detailed list of everything that we're looking to build and participate with. And now we're working on actually building our structures.
So what do y'all actually prepare for the competition for?
To prepare for the competition, we're actually going to go out and do a series of tests. We have a test flight scheduled actually for Friday at Honeywell Ranch. We're just going to test all our different components, the GPS, the recovery systems, our electronics.
And can you tell us a little bit about the educational outreach program?
Sure. The neat part about the competition is they do care about the educational aspect of things. Our project is geared around promoting STEM, which is the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics topics in schools, as it's a real big basis for our global society.
Thank you, Jancy. Now back to Savannah.
Thanks, Shawnee. In City News, Lacey Massey reports Stephenville High School's second annual Coaches for a Cure was held in Gandy Gym at Stephenville High School on Tuesday and was a big success. The Coaches for a Cure is put on by the Stephenville ISD faculty and staff to raise money for breast cancer awareness and is held in honor of staff members battling cancer. The event was started last year when teacher and coach Carrie Norman was diagnosed with breast cancer, and this year was held in honor of kindergarten teacher Sherry Farrow, who was diagnosed with breast cancer in August. Coaches for a Cure helps to bring the community together to support this cause and community members affected. At the event, they auctioned off cakes and other baked goods, all of which were displayed by Farrow's kindergarten students. Last year's event raised nearly $8,000, and this year, before donations and bake sale items had been added in, they had already raised a little over $3,000. Lacey Massey did a live interview with Sherry Farrow.
How has the support of your faculty and staff helped you during your time?
Oh, they're amazing. They've helped me with food and with my classes, and very encouraging. I couldn't have a better group of friends.
The Coaches for a Cure is an event that Stephenville hopes to continue for years to come, so keep your calendars open for next year's event for this cure to end breast cancer. And now today's national, Texas, and international news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, Stanley Marsh III, the eccentric millionaire artist best known for his Cadillac Ranch art display along an interstate in the Texas Panhandle, was charged Wednesday with 11 felony counts of molesting children. The 74-year-old turned himself in at a county jail after an arrest warrant was issued. His arrest follows the filing of several lawsuits accusing him of paying 10 teens for sex acts. The charges could go before a grand jury in the next few weeks or soon after the first of the year. Special prosecutor Matt Powell said Marsh was charged with 6 counts of child sexual assault and 5 counts of sexual performance by a child. Marsh's criminal attorneys Paul Nugent and Heather Peterson of Houston denied the charges, saying in a statement that the teens in the civil cases waited until Marsh suffered a massive stroke last year to move forward with a plan to become multimillionaires. By signing with a Houston personal injury attorney, the 6 lawsuits claim Marsh paid the boys ages 15 and 16 for sexual acts. One claimed that Marsh provided him with drugs and alcohol bought him 2 cars, and paid him sums as much as $10,000 at several points during the year. The teen's Houston-based civil attorney Anthony Busby said 2 of the teens went to police in late summer before the lawsuits were filed, but 2 others didn't speak with investigators until early November, about the time Marsha's offices were searched. One teen's mother sought out a civil attorney when she didn't hear back from the police, according to the lawsuits. Marsha was indicted on charges of indecency with a child in 1996, but the charges were eventually dismissed. That same year, Marsh acknowledged no wrongdoing in the settlement with a youth who claimed Marsh sexually abused him. In 2001, parties in 4 lawsuits that alleged imprisonment, sexual misconduct, and harassment of teens were settled. Marsh apologized, but no other details were made public. In national news, the Associated Press reports donations to the 31st annual Spirit of Christmas food drive at participating Brookshires and Super One food stores are still being accepted as the holiday efforts move into its 3rd week. The food drive will help provide food for tens of thousands of families in Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. The grocery stores partner with service organizations, food pantries, and other volunteer groups to collect and distribute non-perishable food to those who need assistance. Tyler, Texas-based Brookshire Grocery Company, parent company of Brookshires and Super One food stores, donates customized boxes in which groups pack the food donations. The company also donates a coupon for free roasting hen to go with each box of food distributed during the food drive. Participating stores set up a collecting bin in which customers can donate loose grocery items or drop off purchased grab bags containing non-perishable Food Club products. Store personnel assemble and display the grab bags and also sell $1 and $5 scan coupons, which also help bring in more food for the food drive. Items accepted include canned meats and vegetables, soups, dry beans, rice, pasta, sugar, flour, peanut butter, cereal, canned fruits, and dessert mixes, to name a few. That are homemade in glass containers or perishable are not accepted. The food drive can begin in participating stores November 14th and will continue through December 19th in most areas. In international news, the Associated Press reports the garment factory in Bangladesh, where 112 people were killed in the fire, had been making clothes for Walmart, Disney, Sears, and other major global retailers, some of who say they thought they had stopped doing business with the place. The apparent confusion underscored what some industry experts say is a major obstacle to improving factory safety in developing nations. Many retailers in the U.S. and Europe rely on such a long and complex chain of manufacturers, vendors, and middlemen to keep their shelves stocked that is difficult to keep track of where certain products are made. Amid the blackened tables and melted sewing machines at Tazreen Fashions Limited, an Associated Press reporter discovered clothes and accounted books Wednesday that indicated the factory was used by a host of the U.S. and European retailers. The tragedy is putting a spotlight on the dangerous workplace and conditions around the world. With no clear answers to how consumers should react or who is ultimately responsible, Walmart said that it received a safety audit that showed the factory was high risk and was decided well before the blaze to stop doing business with Tazreen. But it said a supplier had continued to use Tazreen without authorization. Sears said it learned after the blaze that its merchandise was being produced there without its approval through a vendor which has since been fired. Walt Disney Company, which licensed its characters to clothing markers, said its records indicate that none of the licenses have been permitted to making Disney brand products at the factory for at least a year. Bangladesh's fast-growing garment industry, second only to China's in exports, has long provided jobs and revenue for the desperately poor country, while turning out the low-priced products shoppers in the U.S. and other countries have come to enjoy. But the industry has a ghastly safety record. More than 300 workers have died in garment factory fires in Bangladesh since 2006. In sports news, the Associated Press reports injuries have left the Houston Texans thin at linebacker, with star Brian Cushing out for the season due to his knee injury, and starter Brooks Reed out indefinitely with a groin injury. Young players Brittany Marcellus and Daryl Sharpton will be counted on to keep the defense rolling as the Texans play for postseason positioning. Adding to the trouble, inside linebacker Brady James, who has started every game for Houston this season, is day-to-day with a hamstring injury. Sharpton missed the first 9 games of the season after tearing his right quadriceps in October 2011. Tim Dobbins missed the last week's game after injuring his left shoulder against the Bears. He is practicing again, and his return should be a boost to the group. Dobbins has started 4 games in crushing old spot since he was injured October 8th. The Texans have turned in 2 of their worst defensive performances of the season in the past 2 weeks, both overtime wins by Houston. The Texans will try to shore up the unit by putting rookie first-round pick Marcellus in at starter on the weak side this week and moving Connor Barwin from the weak side to the strong side to fill in for Reed. Today's weather is a high of 71 degrees with a low of 50 degrees with sunny skies and a 0% chance of rain. Today's broadcast was produced by Shawnee Wagner, Alex Zoki, and Lacey Massey. You can follow us on ustream.tv/user/Texan News Service. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I'm Savannah Trantham. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.